Uganda for the month of January 2026 was recorded at 3.2%. Prices for January 2026 compared to January 2025 have increased by 3.2% in general.
And in international news, Gaza ceasefire. US signals implementation of second phase of Gaza ceasefire.
Brought to you by
Centenary Publishing House, the leading publishers of prayer and hymn books since 1977.
Welcome to News at 8 once again. Starting us off today, the Uganda National Examinations Board, UNEB, has officially released the results of 2025 Primary Leaving Examinations, PLE, showing a notable improvement in overall performance compared to 2024. This year, 7,503 more candidates passed the exams, with male candidates outperforming females and recording a lower failure rate. Now, John Baptist Aumza has more.
According to UNEB, a total of 817,883 candidates were registered from 15,388 examination centers, compared to 797,444 candidates in 2024. Of this number, 520,066 candidates, a representation of 63.8% from 11,515 centers were universal primary education UPE beneficiaries, and 295,847, a representation of 36.2% of the candidates from 3,863 centers were non-UPE.
Honorable Minister of Education and Sports and First Lady of this country.
Thank you and God bless you.
Speaking in Kampala today, the Executive Director of UNEB, Dan Odongo, revealed how 91,990 candidates passed in Division 1, 388,293 in Division 2, 165,226 obtained Division 3, 84,724 Division 4, 77,080 candidates were ungraded, while 10,570 absconded.
We have more candidates this year passing with first grade. That is 91,990 or 11.39%, compared to 84,301 or 10.7%. So we have more of our candidates who have obtained Division 1 or Grade 1.
In terms of subject performance by gender, Odongo indicated how the females have slightly performed better than their male counterparts in English, while the males outperformed the female integrated science, social studies and mathematics.
Subject by subject, so we have detailed percentage subject performance by grades and gender. We have provided some figures. Figure 1 is performance of males and females in English. We are showing now the percentage at Distinction 1, Distinction 2 up to F9. And then we can see the column for the males.
UNEB indicates that 48,220 male passed in Division 1 compared to 43,770 females, while 34,500 males were ungraded compared to 42,580 females. However, the male candidates have performed better than their female counterparts and recorded a lower failure rate.
What is important, Mama, is that as we've seen in Table 5, more of our candidates have passed in Division 1 in 2025 than 2024. An increase, Mama, this is an increase of 7,689 in terms of numbers. And we also have more overall this was the increase. The first one is the increase in Division 1 passes. But overall, although we are seeing that in terms of percentages, 2024 seems to be better, but what is very important is the real numbers. We have 7,503 who have passed PLE. compared to 2024.
Of the 61 candidates who registered from Uganda Government Upper Prison School Luzira, 58 candidates sat, 4 passed in Division 1, 27 obtained Division 2, while 13 obtained Division 3. 5 candidates passed in Division 4, 9 were ungraded, and 3 did not sit.
Mbarara Main Prison Inmates Primary School, Mama, we had 40 candidates who registered, 39 of them sat, while 1 could have been released before, was absent. Of those, 7 obtained Division 1, 15 are in Division 2, 10 are in Division 3, 5 in Division 4, and only 2 were ungraded.
UNEB also registered 3,636 learners with special needs, and a majority of 48.4% passed in Division 2.
We also have our special needs candidates. The table is a bit crowded. We have disaggregated them by the categories of blind, the low vision, the deaf, the physically handicapped, and dyslexics, and then the ones that we have categorized as others.
John Baptist Ahomza, Church of Uganda, Family TV News at 8.
Thank you, John Baptist Ahomza, for that report. Elsewhere, Uganda's annual inflation has edged up slightly to 3.2% from 3.1% last month, according to the latest Consumer Price Index released by the Uganda Bureau of Statistics. UBOS attributes the increase to rising transport costs and higher prices of key household commodities, raising fresh concerns about the cost of living across the country.
Addressing journalists at the UBOS Statistics House in Kampala, Juliet Nakayenga, the principal statistician for price statistics at UBOS, said the marginal increase reflects continued price pressures in key sectors of the economy, particularly transport and household commodities.
So the annual headline inflation for Uganda for the month of January 2026 was recorded at 3.2%. Prices for January 2026 compared to January 2025 have increased by 3.2% in general.
Nakayenga explained that the rise in inflation was mainly driven by higher air percentage transport fares, coupled with increased price of essential household items such as sugar, fish, and laundry services.
So under the services, we noted passenger transport by air increased to 8.8% compared to 1.2%. Then we had passenger transport by road, which was noted at 0.0 compared to the minus 3.8% that was noted in December. You see a 1.7% compared to the 12.5%. Maize flour, see a 5.0 compared to a 6%. Have laundry soap, which was noted at minus 2.2%. That means a reduction compared to the same period last year.
She noted that these factors had contributed to a gradual increase in the cost of living for households across the country.
Month to month, from December 2024 up to where we are now in January 2026, the annual inflation we see is recorded at 3.2. Last month we had 3.1. It had November we had 3.1. So whatever you use in a household is catered for, and we look at these prices and check out the inflation. For example, when you look at that category of food and non-alcoholic beverages
centers,
this time round we had the highest as Kampala High Income and Masaka. They both registered 4.0. So when you talk about Kampala High Income, it registered 4.0 compared to the 4.2 that was earlier recorded. And this was mainly driven by transport in Kampala and financial services, like you can see. Then when you come to Masaka, where they all got the 4.0, Masaka got 4.0%.
In contrast, Arua registered the lowest inflation rate at 1.3%, with price movements largely influenced by food and non-alcoholic beverages. Nakayenga noted that relatively stable food prices in the region helped shield consumers from sharper price increases experienced elsewhere.
So the least inflation this time round, we saw it in Arua, and it was recorded at 1.3% for January 2026 compared to 1.5% that we recorded in December 2025.
Economists say that although the rise from 3.1 to 3.2% appears modest, it signals persistent cost pressures that would affect household purchasing power if sustained over time. They emphasize the need for closer monitoring of transport, commodity prices, which often have ripped effects across the wider economy. WUBOS continues to monitor price movements nationwide, though its monthly consumer price index reports, which serves as a key indicator of economic performance and provide guidance for policymakers and other stakeholders.
Thank you, Emmanuel Alengai, for that report. Elsewhere, thousands of aspiring legal professionals have today graduated from the Law Development Center, marking the first phase of its 53rd graduation ceremony. The graduates received diplomas in law and certificate in administrative officers law, a milestone that underscores LDC's continued role in shaping competent legal practitioners to serve the nation. Speaking at the ceremony, the chief guest, Pius Bigirimana, the permanent secretary and secretary to the judiciary, affirmed their commitment to supporting the institution in strengthening justice delivery and improving service efficiency, while graduates were urged to apply their knowledge responsibly, promote unity, and uphold the rule of law.
Today, the Law Development Center, Uganda's only institution offering the bar course leading to the postgraduate diploma in legal practice, held its 53rd graduation ceremony. Over 1,000 graduates were awarded diplomas in law and certificates in administrative officers law, strengthening the country's legal and administrative workforce.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the diploma in law of the Law Development Center.
Addressing the graduates, the chief case, Pius Bigirimana, the permanent secretary to the judiciary, congratulated them upon completing their courses and reaffirmed the judiciary's continued support to the Law Development Center.
LDC is a very important stakeholder in Uganda's justice system. The success of administration of justice in Uganda partly depends on having skilled, ethical, and legal professionals, and the LDC plays an important role in developing the skills, the ethics, and the preparedness of all new legal professionals entering the justice system. The beneficiaries include the judiciary, where I happen to be the secretary for the judiciary, the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, grabbers. Our theme, therefore, resonates well with the courses you have studied at LDC and their long-tested relevance in addressing the social injustices in society.
Bigirimana condemned the acts of divisionism among the newly graduated once they join institutions, citing the judiciary as an example and noting that unity is essential for effective service delivery.
Of judicial officers, non-judicial staff, and I say that I will not tolerate it as long as I'm there. Because if you are in an institution, you are having similar objectives to deliver justice to the people of Uganda, irrespective of your profession. And I was referring to judicial officers who downgrade or overlook clerks, court clerks, process servers, IT people, and so on and so forth. So I advised that everybody matters.
The director for the Law Development Center and the chairperson of the organizing committee urged the graduates to remain open to learning and to apply the knowledge acquired in the promotion of the justice.
The true test of your education lies in how you apply it to promote justice, peace, and accountability in our nation. Be lifelong learners, adapt to change, stand firm in truth, and above all, remain committed to building a justice-centered Uganda.
To those proceeding to employment, as you take up your roles as court bailiffs and law clerks, know that you are the backbone of the judiciary. The courts cannot function efficiently without your knowledge and skill.
All my life.
Thank you, Rita Nandera. Moving on elsewhere, over 1,200 students have graduated from the Buganda Royal Institute of Business and Technical Education in Mengo, marking a major milestone in the institution's contribution to skill development and vocation training in Uganda. During the 20th graduation ceremony, leaders emphasized discipline, wise decision-making, and practical skills as key drivers of youth employment and national growth.
The Buganda Royal Institute of Business and Technical Education, Mengo, has today held its 20th graduation ceremony, marking another milestone in skills development and vocational training. Of 1,261 students were awarded diplomas, certificates, and informal sector qualifications, equipping them with practical skills aimed at improving employability and self-reliance. The Buganda Premier and Chief Guest Owekitiibwa Charles Peter Mayiga urged the graduates to be mindful of the choices they make, noting that these choices directly shape the future of the country.
Our country needs skilled hands, sharp minds, and upright individuals. And I believe you are now possessed of the three. As you leave this institute, make yourselves useful.
Owekitiibwa Mayiga emphasized that a skilled youth is a productive, adding that Uganda's growth depends on skilled hands and sharp minds.
Be good ambassadors of our King, whom it pleased to start the Buganda Royal Institute of Business and Technical Education. And wherever you go, let your work speak for you.
He encouraged the graduates to first gain experience where possible and later take bold steps towards self-employment.
Once at such a ceremony here, I told graduates not to rush into self-employment simply because of the practical skills they had acquired. I say the same thing to you today. Each one of you needs to start his or her journey under the stewardship of experienced hands. If you have learnt baking, go and work in a bakery somewhere. There, you will learn that the market prefers white bread to brown bread.
The principal of the institute, Joseph Barikudembe, highlighted the progress made by the institution over the years.
We successfully conducted wide-ranging awareness and career guidance programs aimed at changing the mindset of the people of Uganda and Uganda towards skills-based education.
Also reviewed the 5-year strategic plan, which includes reviewing existing policies and developing new ones to improve training quality and relevance.
The institute completed the evaluation of the strategic plan 2021-2026 last year, and the development of the new strategic plan 2026-2031 is in progress. This plan will guide our institutional direction for the next 5 years. We shall continue implementing corporate social responsibility projects.
Meanwhile, the chairperson of the Governing Council, Kasozi Mulindwa, called upon the graduates to remain disciplined as they enter the world of work, urging them to present the institute with integrity and professionalism.
Abasomesa bakoze ogwabwe ogusigaddewo gwe gwammwe okulaba nti ekyo kye tubataddemu mukiteeka mu bantu abalala era n'emikola emirimu eginaaweesa ettendekero lino ekitiibwa.
The Education Minister for Mengo Government, Oweekitiibwa Clotilde Kikomeko, raised concern over youth unemployment and stressed the need for greater support systems to help unemployed youth access job opportunities.
Twategese olukiiko nga 27 wano Gwokusatu mu Bulange, mujje mwena n'abali abasomera Kabaka Education Fund. Tuteekewo olukiiko olw'enjawulo olusobola okutunula mu mbeera zonna nga naffe Ssaabasajja bwe yatuweerera, tukwate ku mukono abalala ate tukole n'ebirala ebitwekulaakulanya.
The ceremony ended with a call for collaboration between institutions, government and private sector to empower younger people through skills and employment. Julius Mhomza, Church of Uganda Family TV, News at 8.
Thank you, Julius Mhomza, for that report. And now that ushers us straight to the Archbishop's moment, so please stay on and let's reflect on what His Grace has for us today.
Archbishop's Moment, sponsored by Uganda Christian University, a center of excellence in the heart of Africa. Join the UCU experience now. And
St. John's Wakiso Secondary School, where faith meets education.
God is calling us to make tough choices. Wherever we are, God has never called us to make is a choice. Let me tell you, God cannot call you and give you simple tasks. God calls us for tough tasks. God has never called us for simple things. God has never given us simple offices. God has never called us for just simple things. God calls us for tough tasks. But when He calls us, He makes us tough so that we are tougher for those tough tasks, so that we become tougher. When it becomes tough, He makes us tough for tough assignments. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. God is tough. And He calls us for tough things. And He makes us tough for tough tasks. Tell your neighbor, you can't be called for simple things, but you are called for tough things. But the one who calls you is making you tough so that you can also manage those tough things. Give Him a mighty hand clap. Hallelujah.
Amen. Archbishop's Moment, sponsored by Uganda Christian University, a center of excellence in the heart of Africa. Join the UCU experience now. And
St. John's Wakiso Secondary School, where faith meets education.
The key message in there is to understand that God does not call you for simple tasks. Therefore, you should man up, or you should anchor up, so that you can be ready for whatever task that is going to be coming, because it is not a simple one. Take it from His Grace today, and I hope you keep getting such messages and of course reflecting upon them. We now take a short break and return with more news. Welcome back. This is News at 8 here on Church of Uganda Family TV. Minister of Education and Sports Janet Kataha Museveni has expressed concern over the proliferation of private examination boards, which she says are undermining the true purpose of learning. She has directed the Permanent Secretary to take appropriate action, and also these remarks were made while releasing the 2025 PLE result at State House, Nakasero.
Today, the Uganda National Examinations Board released the primary leaving examinations results after a long time of waiting. The function was officiated by the First Lady and Minister of Education, Honorable Janet Kataha Museveni, at State House, Nakasero.
Honorable Minister of Education and Sports and First Lady of this country.
Thank you and God bless you.
In her address, the minister expressed dismay over the mushrooming private examination bureaus that have continually distorted the purpose of learning in the country. She directed the Permanent Secretary to intervene.
I also want you to convey my displeasure at some unprofessional practices in the administration of examinations and within the teaching profession. According to UNEB, such practices take place leading to examination malpractice. UNEB has reported that some education officials have facilitated the registration of private candidates as UPE candidates, thereby defrauding government. This is completely unacceptable.
Mama Janet also warned against unprofessional practices in teaching and examination administration, which she says are undermining the sector. According to her, these practices include posting specific invigilators to examination centers at the request of school directors, assigning invigilators to the various schools where they teach, and deploying fewer than the required number of invigilators to an examination center.
Relatedly, there is the mushrooming of private examinations bureaus that have continued to distort the purpose of learning. Learning is not about passing exams only. It is demonstrating acquisition of desired competencies. So, the argument that examinations bureaus can continue with their ways because the government liberalized the economy really does not hold any water. Therefore, I have asked the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Education and Sports to diagnose where the loopholes could be in the practice of examinations bureaus. These loopholes must be closed by either enforcing the existing legal and regulatory frameworks or formulating new frameworks where none exists.
The First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports applauded the increase in numbers of children completing the primary education cycle. She, however, raised the concern over the deteriorating number of boys completing the cycle.
While I'm certainly happy with the numbers of girls completing the primary education cycle, I become concerned about the fact that the proportion of the boys completing this cycle has been decreasing. Is this purely a demographic matter, or are more boys than girls indeed dropping out of school? Either way, it is important that we establish an evidence-based explanation for this trend.
The State Minister for Primary Education, Honorable Joyce Moriko Kaduchu, on the other hand, commended President Yoweri Museveni for championing universal primary education, a program that has created long-standing impacts in the country.
Mama convey a sincere appreciation to Mosei, the First Lady and the Minister of Education and Sports, for your steadfast leadership, your clear vision, your tireless service to Uganda's education sector.
UNEB chairperson Professor Celestino Bua recounted the high levels of examination malpractice and proposed for changes in how the PLE results are reported rather than the aggregate format, which he says is the root cause.
2021, the board presented to you
a proposal to change the reporting of the results of PLE to get rid of the aggregates. You supported this proposal, but observed correctly that COVID-19 ravaging the country then, it was not a good time to adopt and implement the proposal. Mama, I now pray that you allow the board to reintroduce this proposal for possible.
Hundreds of Ugandans have received free eye treatment at Pakistan Free Eye Hospital in Tinda, where medical experts are offering 1 week of free eye care services. So far, over 400 patients have successfully undergone eye surgeries, the majority being cataract operations, giving many a new chance at clear vision and improved quality of life. Patients have travelled from different parts of the country to access the life-changing services. According to the Overseas Pakistanis Global Foundation Africa, the organization has committed the next 5 years to serving Ugandan communities at no cost, focusing on reducing preventable blindness.
We started this initiative 5 years before, 2021, and by the grace of Allah, alhamdulillah, we have done so far more than 10,000 cataract surgeries, and we have attended more than 71,000 people. And we have started this journey from Newgate district. After that, we went to Jinja, Mulago Hospital, Nasambia Police Clinic. Also, we went to Lira side. We've done more than 10 camps in Lira, and the cataracts have reduced that area.
Speaking to the media, Dr. Zohaib Hassan, head of the Pakistani medical team in Uganda, revealed that their target is to treat more than 1,000 patients suffering from various eye conditions, with the majority requiring surgical intervention.
Today is, mashallah, the second day of this free eye camp series going on of 7 days. And our target is to facilitate about 1,000 patients of the surgery. And till now we had reached above 200 patients that I had operated. And our main focus for these 6 days are cataract. And we are approaching to the patients and screening the patients from our outdoor services from different parts of countries and gather them to this hospital to get free treatment of the cataract. And more than 200 patients have been operated in these two days, and still more days to come, and we hope we can acquire this figure of 1,000.
Besides cataracts, doctors are also handling other eye diseases such as trachoma and remain determined to manage all cases presented.
In these number of patients, we also encounter some other diseases that has a large number of disease in these patients, that is glaucoma. And in our upcoming plans and events, we will inshallah do some screenings of that disease also.
The Vice President of the Overseas Pakistanis Global Foundation Africa Uganda, Shahid Mahmoud Arvi, noted that within the 5-year plan, the team aims to reach different regions of Uganda, continuing to offer free eye services until the cataract cases are significantly reduced.
We publish our services over the country in all 5 regions, and everyone reaching to us now. As you have seen, there are so many numbers are there today. Even yesterday, even before yesterday, we have this free eye cataract surgeries, which will remain till 5th of Feb, and we are hoping that we will be getting more than 1,000 patients. So far, more than 200 cataract surgeries has done. And I think as per now, you can see it is around 150 patients still around here. We shall work together against this disease called cataract surgery, cataract issues. And I wish that we reduce this disease in the country, and one day, inshallah, with God's wishes, this disease will be ended.
Meanwhile, Akram Ziwa, head of operations at One Oma Uganda, a partner organization, explained that as a charity they chose to work hand in hand with the Pakistani Free Eye Hospital to ensure Ugandans with eye problems, especially cataracts, receive timely surgeries.
And we got interested because also through our programs that we usually do the whole of Uganda, we found out that disease is one of the things that usually bring about poverty. So cataract is a general term that is usually used to define those people with eye problems that usually need surgery. And we got interested in supporting this program to ensure that the intended goal of achieving 50,000 cataract surgeries in the whole of the country is achieved in the next 5 years.
Every day, the medical team attends to about 200 eye patients, with 150 undergoing cataract surgery daily. The initiative has been widely welcomed, bringing hope and restored sight to many Ugandans in need. Julius Mhomza, Church of Uganda Family TV, News at 8.
Well done, Julius Mhomza. Now, the National Resistance Movement NRM has claimed both mayoral seats in Soroti City and West following the recently concluded division elections. Latif Abdul Wali won the East mayoral seat while John Enomo secured the West seat, marking a significant political shift in a city previously dominated by the FDC.
Both NRM candidates emerged victorious in almost all polling stations across Soroti City. According to the final results from the Tawi Center in Soroti City, Latif Abdul Walai won the Soroti City East Mayor race with 11,003 votes, while John Enomo secured the Soroti City West Mayor seat with 7,899 votes. A total of 7 candidates contested in the 2 mayor races, 7 in Soroti City East and 4 in Soroti City West. The Soroti City Assistant Returning Officer Luke Osili announced that in Soroti City East, Abdul Latif polled 11,003 votes, defeating Gabriel Ogiri of the FDC, who obtained 3,204 votes. Wilfred Onyango Independent gathered 424 votes. Solomon Epero of the NUP got 217 votes. Moses Onyant, a PFF, polled 171 votes. Tom Okilane Independent received 159 votes. And Elias Echwaku polled 74 votes.
Total number of valid votes cast for candidates 15,252 votes. Total number of rejected ballot papers of votes or invalid votes 211. Total number of ballot papers counted 15,463. Total number of spoiled ballot papers 98.
Osili officially declared John Enomo as the winner of the Soroti City West Mayor race.
As Assistant Returning Officer for Soroti City Electoral District, and in accordance with Section 147 of the Local Government Act, Cap 138, I declare Abdul Latif Wali, who has obtained the largest number of votes.
Speaking after his victory, Soroti City East Mayor-elect Abdul Latif thanked the electorate for entrusting him with the mandate.
Soroti City has been lagging behind for quite a long time. When you look at how other cities are moving, we received the city together. Arua, Mulu, Lira, Mbale and Soroti, but they've moved ahead. There are so many things which will combine our effort.
Latif pledged to clean Soroti City and lobby for the additional garbage trucks.
We've seen the way the city is. Everywhere is like we're in some garbage area. The other thing is we need to lobby together. There are so many things the Soroti City needs. One, it's the only city without equipment, road equipment. It's the only city without garbage trucks.
The Soroti City West Mayor-elect John Enomo thanked the people of Soroti City for the confidence shown in him at the polls.
I also want to thank my colleagues, the Division Mayor of Soroti City West, and my brother Samu Chen, for standing with me for all this long, and we believe we are going to do exactly what we promised to our people.
Enomo, who also serves as the NRM chairperson for Soroti City, pledged to improve service delivery and the road network within the city.
If you move around, it's one of the dirtiest cities. And I believe together we are going to make Soroti clean, and also we're going to work on roads and make our roads better.
The Soroti City One Member Parliament, Joan Alobo, noted that voting exercise was likely peaceful, although she reported a few irregularities.
I've already encountered very unfair procedures in Aloet. By 6 a.m. all the ballot papers were over and I'd already fixed them in the ballot box. At the skilling center, the usual thing is now a killing center that everyone in Soroti West is being killed from. But nevertheless, I have moved around many other wards and it's peaceful.
The outcome marks a mayor shift as the FDC had previously nominated both Soroti City East and the West mayor seats, which have been now painted yellow.
Are you ready to rediscover the beauty of Uganda, the Pearl of Africa? Join us every Thursday at 10 p.m. on Church of Uganda Family TV for the Pearl Show, your weekly passport to Uganda's most breathtaking destinations, vibrant cultures and hidden treasures. From the misty hills of Kabale to the world wonders of Maxon Falls, from local legends to untold stories of faith, heritage and hospitality. The Pearl Show is where travel meets inspiration. Experience the people, feel the spirit, only on Family TV, where every journey leads you closer to the heart of Uganda. Don't miss the Pearl Show, Thursday at 10 p.m. on Church of Uganda Family TV. Travel, discover, believe, Uganda. Leads you closer to the heart of Uganda. Don't miss the Pearl
And now in international news, the United States has announced that the second phase of its Gaza ceasefire plan is underway, aiming to reduce hostilities and restore calm in the region.
Moving on, the U.S. has said that the next phase towards ending the Israel-Hamas war is in motion. Speaking to reporters at a cabinet meeting, U.S. President Donald Trump said that it appears that Hamas is prepared to give up its weapons, a move he suggested could mark a major breakthrough in efforts to stabilize a fragile ceasefire with Israel.
And now we want to get Hamas no guns, right?
Right. They're going to give it up. They're going to give up the AK-47s.
A lot of people said they'll never disarm. Looks like they're going to disarm. And they did help us with those bodies, getting them back.
The U.S. president also hailed cooperation with the Palestinian militant group after Israeli forces brought back the remains of Ran Gviri, the last hostage held in Gaza. However, a senior Hamas official, Musa Abu Marzouk, refuted Trump's claim, saying that neither has Hamas agreed to disarm, nor was a condition raised with them directly. Remember, disarmament is a key part in the second phase of the ceasefire plan sealed in October. Last week, U.S. indicated it is fast moving towards the second phase of the plan, including rebuilding Gaza and establishing a group of Palestinian experts that will administer daily affairs. Meanwhile, the Red Cross said it facilitated the transfer of 15 Palestinian bodies to Gaza Strip after the last hostage held in the territory was returned to Israel earlier this week. Now, furthermore, the Rafah border crossing linking Gaza with Egypt is set to reopen on both sides for the first time in nearly 2 years. This after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said that Israel has agreed to a limited reopening of the Rafah crossing for pedestrian passage only. Israel took control of the crossing in May 2024 following its military operation in the southern city of Rafah. And this has left thousands of Palestinians stranded in Gaza who are unable to travel abroad for medical treatment, education, or family reunions.
All right, thanks for joining us this evening. That marks the end of our bulletin. Let's take a look at what made the headlines.
Headlines brought to you by
Centenary Publishing House, the leading publishers of prayer and hymn books since 1977.
In our top stories tonight, UNEB releases 2025 PLA results. Male candidates outperform females, a record lower failure rate in 2025 PLE.
We have more candidates this year passing with first grade. That is 91,990 or 11.39%, compared to 84,301 or 10.7%. So we have more of our candidates who have obtained Division 1 or Grade 1.
And the marginal increase reflects continued price pressures in key sectors of the economy, particularly transport and household commodities. UBOS reports marginal increase in Uganda's inflation rate.
Annual headline inflation for Uganda for the month of January 2026 was recorded at 3.2%. Prices for January 2026 compared to January 2025 have increased by 3.2% in general.
And in international news, Gaza ceasefire. US signals implementation of second phase of Gaza ceasefire.
Brought to you by
Centenary Publishing House, the leading publishers of prayer and hymn books since 1977.
All right, we once again want to congratulate all those that managed to perform very well, majorly for the PLE students. But now it is now a challenge to you, the parents. They are going to the next level, and of course sometimes it becomes more expensive. So you must be preparing in order for them not to suffer that age. But also remember not to worry a lot, because God is always watching every step of your lives. It is important you also accept the results the way they have come. Do not be so harsh on the students or on these children, because that is what they could do. In other words, you should support them on the other step that is coming up forward. I want to appreciate you so much for joining us this evening. My name is Luke Majumba and I've worked with Mhumza in transmission. Have a good night.